Well, hello.
Hello.
From our new space. If you're watching this instead of listening,
Yeah, a little
things
new.
look a little different.
We've got this gal right here behind me.
Got like a giant bear. I'll show you. It's a bear. How fun is that? Because we finally have like a room, like what, T minus 4 months from moving, and we finally got a room to do podcasts. So that's exciting. And by room, we mean Dylan's old room because Dylan moved out last weekend.
Yeah, he did.
Um,
Headed north.
Yeah, so it's been like I think 3 weeks at this point. Like it's been a while since we've recorded, and so
Yeah.
sorry, but life has been really busy because of that. Like because we're moving and Dylan moved and he got his very first place in Portland.
Yeah, a little apartment, 2-story,
It's cute.
2-bedroom, 2 bath. Well, 1.5 bath.
Yeah, it's like a super cute like.
Yeah.
First place is not bad.
Portland, and we love Portland. Portland's a great place.
His roommate's great. His neighbors that we've met seem pretty nice.
He's happy. So
there was a
I'm
guy
happy.
walking a cat, so you know.
And there's a lady who walks a cat in our neighborhood.
There's a lady. I mean, it's welcome. Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm really excited for him. And lately, so we were kind of talking about that this morning when we were talking about what we should record and talk about today. And I think for me, one of the struggles in having adult children or like close to adulthood, even like with Evan being 17 or, is when to come, like, how do you know? Like I guess it's just the balance, right? So, what's the balance in that you're supposed to find with like coming to the rescue when they need help versus letting them struggle? I think that for me has been the hard, like watching Dylan even do like the search or apply for jobs up there or
just the process, or even just like the sequential order that he places things, like his priority and what we think are good priorities to have an order of operations is different.
Like it's really hard to step away.
Yeah. When do you, as an adult, as a parent, let go? Like
not even let go, but just like yeah. Because I never want to be completely like. I don't want to be one of those parents that's like, well, you're on your own, goodbye, and you reach out to me and I won't ever contact. Like I don't want that either. Like I want a relationship with my adult children, and I want to pursue a relationship with them. But I also was like,
you want them to, yeah, and I think it's what every parent wants. I think we want our kids to be dependent and successful, and most of all happy. And sometimes you just got to give them a chance to fly and just maybe lurk in the shadows a little bit to see how they do. But in the big picture, it's, they're...
Yeah. So
it's hard because you spend so much time. You spend 90, you spend 18, well, for Dylan, to like almost 20 years raising your kids. And then you just kind of like hope
that you did a good enough job.
You did enough, and it was a good enough job. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've been watching this show called Shrinking.
Yeah. So if you haven't found it,
if you haven't
we love it.
Yeah.
It's on our 3rd season.
And there was like a couple of
weeks. On Apple.
It's on Apple. There's a couple weeks ago that like, who knew? Like, just like as an aside. For those of you who do watch, who knew that like Harrison Ford would be the dad that we all just need so badly? Anyway, but Harrison Ford's character is kind of like coaching these two parents who have adult children, and they have one son that like keeps bouncing back home, and they just kind of keep letting him, right? And like you think about like what's wrong with just letting him. And they were like, we want him to be successful. And they were like going on. And that's like, as a parent, like it rang true, because you're like, you do. And you want your kid to know that you're supportive of them. And one of like the things that really, that like kind of stuck with me in this, like, I know it's a show, but it just, I was like, man, that hit. It was Harrison Ford's character says, you know, kind of along the lines of, you're actually doing damage when you don't let them struggle. Like, you're hurting his confidence more than you're helping him, because it's in the struggle that we discover we are capable of more than maybe what we thought. And so every time as a parent, like when you are stepping in to rescue, you have to ask yourself, is that what I should be doing in this moment? Or do I need to just be supportive, but also let them struggle and find that balance?
Yeah. And I think, and maybe, I don't know if it's all parents, but we step in before they ask. Sometimes even.
Yeah.
Where it's like, don't worry, like they might explain what's going on, and then we're like, don't worry about it, we got it. And I think there's an opportunity there for them to ask for help and maybe not ask for help, because a lot of times I know, as thinking back to when I was his age, there's a lot that I ended up doing on my own and being successful with it. And not always is that the best, but you know, some of it was just being stubborn. But
yeah,
it did a lot for my like personal growth of like, I can do hard things, and my independence.
Yeah. So I was over hanging out with a neighbor yesterday, and she was talking about, as a mom, one of the things that she struggles with is when she goes to hang out with her adult son, she wants to bring dinner. And she's like, in recent years, she's been kind of challenging herself to not bring dinner over, but to let him fix dinner for her. And just like those little things where it's like, you're just so used to and ingrained to like take care of these beings that you're not giving them a chance to like grow and to like feel like empowered, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know, like that just kind of stuck with me, and it's been so like, where is the balance? Like when, like you think it's like when they actually ask for help?
Yeah, I think there's an opportunity and a place to step in if they don't ask for it. But I don't know. I think it is a difficult place to set in. I guess you just probably feel it more than you can put to words, maybe. I don't know. Like,
yeah,
you know, I can think back to my, like, the first places I lived weren't the greatest. And my mom always wanted to like do more, but I didn't want her to. Like, I was happy with where I was and what I was doing. And her stepping in and, you know, wouldn't have changed anything really. It would have made her feel better, but it wouldn't have changed my circumstances really.
No?
But like,
why not?
But like cleaning it, if it was like a fraternity style house or something, like going in and cleaning it really well. Well, it's just, you know, she does that because it's something that, you know, that she instilled into me too. But it's like, it doesn't really help I'm still living there.
That it depends on how you were raised. Because I think for me, you know, I was raised in a family where like help was a lot of like providing, not necessarily like acts of service, but like, you know, for me, my go-to isn't go in and clean his place. It's, you know, so like last weekend, for example, you know, we helped him move, and then I went to the grocery store and I just like bought a bunch of stuff to get him started, because it's a super hefty load to get started. You got all the cleaning supplies and pantry staples and things like that. And so I went and I was like, you know what? As a gift to you, I'm going to go to the store. I'm going to do that. My brain then goes, okay, is that going to be enough? And like literally I've had to like fight myself to not like, I wonder if I can just create like a Walmart once a month shipment with like certain supplies, and then he can have like, you know, and my brain is like, how can I continue to like just send him food or send him cleaning supplies or send it, you know, like, and I think that there's like, it's okay to a point, but also to a point he needs to learn how to like budget and do that himself, right? And so it's like, man, where is the balance? And it's, I'm not sure that I've seen, like, for my own self, because like my parents are very different. So I have my dad who's very hands off as an adult, right? And doesn't like you're just, unless you ask for it. If you ask for help, he'll help. And then I have my mom who's very like, nope, I got this, and she comes to town and she's gonna like take care of, you know, like, you know, that like things are gonna be taken care of. And so I've never really seen what the middle looks like, I guess.
Yeah. And I think there's, I would even go like there's probably a nature nurture male female kind of like.
That could be
like there's probably something
like the difference between dad and mom kind of thing. Yeah, because like, was your dad's more hands off as well, or like would you say that that's a similar pattern in your family?
I mean, they're both, yeah, I think they're both more of like, they'll do things like if I ask they'll help at this point. But
well, at this point, but like when you think about your
growing up
first big launch,
yeah, probably my mom was more involved than my dad, at least in my view of it. But they probably, just like us, have had a lot of conversations about what I was doing.
I know, it kind of puts into the perspective like what our parents probably were talking about, right? And I think that opens up like, because we've talked a lot about like what does it look like and what kind of parents we want to be when our boys were small. Like we had a lot of those conversations. I don't know that we've had a lot of conversations around what does it look like to be a parent as an adult, other than, you know, I guess we both kind of talked about, we want to make sure that we're reaching out at least, like we've talked about, like at least weekly once they move out of the house. Like we want to like phone call, like we will be the initiators of the phone call at least once a week. Yeah. Just so that they know that we're like still reaching out, and trying, you know, and making that effort. But we haven't really like gone in depth as to like what does adult support look like.
Yeah. And I think we're in that weird limbo, because I think I'm pretty sure, I'm not going to pull the number, but statistically kids live at home longer than they used to, maybe. Like, as far, I think I want to hear like the whole like,
how long do
kids live at home? Don't launch like they used to. So
what would I ask? At what age? Let's see.
Like, how long does a typical child live with parents? I don't know.
Hang on.
I have a feeling it's
be quiet,
pretty.
I'm gonna say it to my phone.
Okay.
Right. How long do kids usually live at home? At what age do they move out? Okay. Here's what AI says: is mid-20s.
Yeah, 25.
So over 21% of 25 to 29-year-olds lived with their parents in 2023. Whoa. Common moving age often coincides with finishing high school or completing college at 22. Current trends: more young adults 25 to 34 are staying at home or moving back, with 18% of this age group living with parents as of 2024, an increase from 13% in 2006.
Yeah. So there you go. So for us, I think that's where hearing these things in the background, I think that's where I get like, where you're like, I don't know, nervous or just like,
but
hoping that they're like,
here's the other thing is that both of us did bounce back home for a period.
Yeah, off and on.
Well, yeah, because like I moved out at 18 and then I moved home when I got pregnant.
Yeah.
And you had been living at home when we met.
Yeah,
And then moved out. And then we both lived with my mom when Dylan was born for a year. And so I think like that's the hard part is like, because when I think back on that was like pivotal to us being successful, was having that. Like, I can't even fathom that first year with Dylan. We didn't make any money. We were, like we were in like a pretty dire situation. In terms of that, like I don't think we would have been able to afford it with that. Like we've talked about that, even like with your mom providing daycare services.
Yeah.
And my parents providing a place for us to like live and save up money for a year so that we could afford even our like first place that we got wasn't that nice, right? So like, yeah, like we're like, I would hope that we would want to step in for our kids in a similar way, right? I don't know. Like I think that's where like some of my confusion comes from, because it's like I don't want our kids to like you want them to struggle because that's where growth happens, but you don't want them to like suffer.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it.
Like struggling is okay, but like when it becomes so, like what is the point in which you're like, yeah, there's like we got to step in.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's just an ongoing conversation.
Yeah,
I think there's factors to it, and
I mean, and I know that like it wasn't even like my mom being like, you have to move home. She was like, do you want to? I guess it was an option, and I didn't have to. Yeah, it was always a choice. And maybe that's the difference, is like it's not forced on somebody. Like I'm not placing the order every month. I'm asking if that's something that he would need. Like we talked about gift cards and stuff, because like
but he doesn't use them, so it's
weird. Like we've gotten Dylan all these gift cards, and then like he literally gave a few of them back the other day
when he moved out.
He's like, they're just sitting here, I don't use them. And you're like, or we offered him a Chick-fil-A. Like I found a gift card out. I was like out and I found it on the side of the road, and I was like, oh, and I looked it up, and there was like $20 on this Chick-fil-A gift card, and I was like, sweet. Dylan, do you want this? And he was like, no. And then he like went and bought Chick-fil-A that day.
Yeah.
So it's like, like, is it something that he even wants?
Yeah.
In that kind, like, I don't know. Yeah. Like, what? I guess maybe the conversation starts with adult kids on like what's going to make you feel loved in this moment.
Yeah.
And supported, because it's just like our love languages, where it's like I can like love bomb the crap out of you with like my own love language, but it's not going to mean the same.
Yeah.
You're not going to receive it the same. It's going to be more of like okay, I get it. Yeah. Right? So, I don't know, maybe that's it.
Yeah. I guess it's asking him what would help him.
Yeah.
I mean, they're adults, so I guess that's a good place to start.
Yeah.
And
like letting them decide what that looks like for you to be supportive as a parent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of just doing it. There
Look at us.
you go.
Coming up with we found an answer. Unless you guys are like, you guys are wrong.
We don't know.
If you've navigated this, we would absolutely love to hear your perspective. For those of you who have adult kids who are maybe older than ours and have like successfully launched, like where was your how did you support them into that? Like what did that look like for your family, I guess?
Yeah.
I would love to hear more, because when it comes to this kind of stuff, like we are novices.
Yeah.
We don't know.
I think they just do, and then you sit back and enjoy the fruits of your labor.
Well, that's the hope.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but there's like it's just that stupid little voice in the back of your mind that's like, but what if the worst happens? And you don't want the worst for your kids.
No.
So, I think that's the struggle. But like I said, let me know. I'm way off. Or we're way off. But for now, I think we can let you know how this goes.
Yeah.
I think we'll next time we talk to our son, we're going to call him.
Yeah, he's been there a week.
And we can just ask what.
I talked to him.
What would help you feel supported in this time of your life?
A little bit ago, and he was happy. So.
That's just it. Yeah. So.
He's happy with what he has and what he says. What he has. Yeah.
Yeah. How that goes. Anyway, thanks for listening. It's 20 minutes, so we should stop rambling now. Yeah. Good talk. I feel like we solved some stuff today.
Okay.
You don't?
I mean, yeah. I feel like we just talked to Dylan. It's the conversation.
Well, yeah, that's the solution, right? Yeah. It's like we went into this feeling stuck, and now we have something to do. So go us. High five. Yay. All right. Well, have a good week. Thanks for listening. Bye, guys.